I love technology when it works. Oh, we're having some issues, girls. So I hope you guys will come back. So Julie was having some issues with her logging on to Facebook for some reason. Hey, Kim. Kim, are you... Okay, Barbara, you're back. Good. Okay. I'm sorry that I had to cut out. I called Julie finally. Hi, Karen. I'm glad you're back. Okay, so I had to call Julie, and she said that she was having trouble logging on, so they should be on soon. But I didn't want to have 15 minutes of unnecessary chatter on this video. So that's why I cut out. But anyway, they should be here soon, hopefully. Say a little prayer, please, Lord. Because, you know, technology is a wonderful thing when it works. But when it doesn't work, it can be a real royal pain in the rear end, you know? Truly, truly can. So, but hopefully, Kim, are you on there? I saw Kim was waving to me in Messenger. But I'm really confused. Okay, we got 3 on. Hey, there's Kim. Now you're with Julie, right? Hey, Kim. Okay. Is Julie getting on? Or is she still having trouble? You know, technology is a beautiful thing, isn't it? Sometimes. And sometimes it's a royal pain. So we just have to be patient. You know, this happened, we do Facebook trainings, still trying to get it, okay. We do Facebook trainings at the training that I'm involved with here in Michigan sometimes, and we had Bob Bolander one day. And the first time he came on, I don't know, we couldn't hear him. And then the second time he came on, he was sideways, because he must have turned the camera. You can't turn the camera, you got to keep it upright. I'm like, oh my gosh. So it happens. But anyway, we'll get it. We'll get it. Can't we just listen on your phone, Kim? You're on your phone, I'm assuming. Julie's trying to pull it up on her laptop or on her computer. Just make sure you don't have any other apps open if you are watching from a laptop. You need to make sure that nothing else, because sometimes it will interrupt the signal. Okay. All right. Well, when she gives me the okay, I will just dive right in, because I've been dying to go here. Julie and I actually got on earlier today, and I tried to see if I could bring her on, but when I brought her on, she was distorted and I was distorted, and I don't understand why Facebook is not letting her on. That's weird. Because she was on with me earlier. Facebook. I have a love-hate relationship with Facebook sometimes. Just go ahead. You're listening. All right. Okay. Well, hi, everybody. We're going to get this show rolling here. Anyway, my name is Brenda Price. I don't know if Julie introduced me or not, but I have been in Premier since 1997, so I'm in my 22nd year, and started in Premier when I lived in Georgia. Now I'm living in Michigan. I kind of wish I was living in Georgia, although you guys have had nothing but rain, so it's not so great. But we've had snow and ice and everything else. So anyway, we're going to be talking about Facebook tonight. And you know, Facebook can be a really great enhancement for your business. But you know what? It's never going to replace in-home face-to-face shows, ever. Okay? With Facebook, we want to focus on building relationships, just like we do when we're in person. And we want it to be encouraging, not salesy. Okay? You do not want to be, join my team, buy from me, and that kind of message. It's just not, that's not going to fly, because it's all about relationships. So here we go. So Do you ever ask yourself, why would I want to do Facebook Live? You know, it's really great for out-of-town friends. You know, I've moved around quite a bit, so I have friends all over the country, and they kind of like being able to still have shows and get free jewelry by doing a Facebook show. So it's good for out-of-town friends and for busy women. You know, some of these moms, I'm telling you, the only way you can get them on your calendar is to do a Facebook show, because they're just too busy and their friends are too busy, and the only way that they're going to tune in is through Facebook. You can also do fundraisers on Facebook. I love doing fundraisers. And something that I do just about every month is I do a mystery hostess Facebook show once a month, because I don't need any more free jewelry, so I don't do a personal show, but I'll do a mystery hostess show. And somebody always wins the free jewelry, and they love that. So another thing that has been really successful for me is to do my sample sale on Facebook. You know, I used to do sample sales in my home, and I hardly got anybody to come, and it was so frustrating. And so I did a Facebook Live sample sale on my VIP group, which normally I would do it in an event, but I just did it in my VIP group, and it was extremely successful. And I demonstrated the jewelry, I would show them the versatility, and boom, they would say sold, 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 sold. That was crazy. I almost couldn't keep up with it. It was so exciting. So that's a great way to use Facebook as well. And just to keep in touch with your VIPs and your GEM members. So I'm hoping that all of you have a VIP group. And by the way, if you like something that I'm saying, give me a thumbs up or a heart, because it just helps me to know that I'm not just sitting up here talking to myself. So I love that. I have some ideas for you too, to use Facebook for other things other than just selling your jewelry. And I'm gonna, I have this sheet. Hey, Julie Stewart. It says bring them on camera. Not doing it. I am going to be sending Julie this sheet. I'm so glad you're on this sheet. We're going to post it actually in the event, so you'll have a copy of it, or I'll post it on her her Julie's Jewels group. But here's some ideas for you. On Monday, you might do Motivational Monday and just share words of encouragement. You can do it Facebook Live. You can just do it with posts and just some scripture or something. That's always an encouragement to people. On Tuesday, you might want to do Tip Tuesday. You know, just give some tips. Doesn't necessarily have to be about jewelry. You could give them tips about cleaning or packing or cleaning their closet or whatever. Or Trendy Tuesday. You could highlight some of the trends. Transformational Tuesday, before and after. You know, the 1, 2, 3. Those are really, really amazing to show that the progression from just a solid color top, adding the fashion piece, and then adding the jewelry. So that would be another one. For Wednesdays, you could do Ways to Wear It Wednesday. And the person who's most famous for this is Elizabeth Muhusai. She does it every Wednesday faithfully. And that's the one thing, if you're going to do something like this, if you can do it at the same time every week, people will get into the habit of tuning in. And she's really intentional. I love watching her Ways to Wear It Wednesdays. And she'll actually do a poll on Monday to ask them which piece they want to see. So it's great. Or you could do Why Wednesday. You could share your why about Premier, which I love that. Thursday, you could do Thankful Thursday, which it's always good to be thankful. Or you could do Thrifty Thursday and give a recycling or a repurposing tip. And you know, we're really into repurposing and recycling our closets. So that would be a great thing to do on Thursday. And on Friday, you could do Fun Fact Friday, Freebie Friday. You could give something away. Or Fashion Friday. So I would probably only do it Monday through Friday. You can do it on the weekend if you want to, but those are just some ideas for you. All right. Well, where should you go live? Do you ever wonder where's the best place? You know, we have business pages, we have VIP groups, we have our timeline. Okay, so I'm going to go through that. The first thing is the business page. Not everybody has a business page, and you don't have to have one, but if you do, it's a public page, and some people, like Elizabeth, actually goes live on her business page because she can share her video from there to other places from a public page. You can't share a video from a private page, which would be your VIP group, okay? So that's one advantage. I usually go live in my VIP group just because my customers seem like they have a hard time finding me if I do it anywhere else. So I either do it in my VIP group or I do it in an event, okay? So number one is the business page. Number two would be your VIP group. And that should be a private group of hostesses and customers, your gem members. Some people do a separate group for their gem members, but I just put them in with my VIPs because I only have 12. I don't have a ton. And I think it's fine to have them all together. And if I do a special for, you know, and my gems get a little extra, I will advertise. I will say, well, you get 20% off, but if you're a gem member, you get an extra 10% off, so that'd be 30%. So maybe somebody will see that and say, I think I should sign up for a gem. So on your surveys at your shows, you really should have a question on there asking them if they want to be part of your VIP group. And get have a place there for them to write their Facebook name. Or you can have them pull out their phone right at a show and say, okay, pull out your phone, log into Facebook, and I want you to Facebook friend me. My Facebook name is Brenda Kukuk, K-U-K-U-K, Price, no laughter there. That is my maiden name. And go ahead and then say, you know, when I accept you, if you want to be added to my VIP group, then I'll do it when I get home. And you can just add me to your phone. While you're at it, you might as well add me to your contact list. And that way, just put me in as the jewelry lady or Brenda the jewelry lady or whatever. And that way, whenever you need a question answered, you'll have me in your contacts. So I love to do that as well. In your VIP group, it's mostly for interaction. It's for building relationships again. It's for sharing fashion tips, encouragement, fun posts, and occasionally sales. You don't want it to be sales, sales, sales. We have a rule of 80-20. 80% should be non-sales related, 20% business related, okay? That's true of your VIP group. That's true of your timeline, your regular Facebook page as well. So how often should you post? I usually say 1 to 3 times a day. I'm not real good about posting every single day. Some people are, and I admire them. I think, they're so organized. I really don't have any excuse either, but if you're not getting a lot of interaction with your posts, you may need to put out a post that says, please check your notifications, because recently Facebook put all groups, all of their notifications, they changed them from whatever they were to highlights only. And so if they're only doing highlights and they never interact with your post, they're not going to see them. Okay? It's only the people that like and comment on your post that are going to see them. So if they change their notification to all, then they'll see them. Okay? So you might have to do that. All right. So what should you post? Not join my team, book a show. Remember, you want to show tips on the jewelry, the 1, 2, 3, how to clean the jewelry, whatever. Teach them something. Show, it adds value. The internet, it can be a real time sucker. You know that? You'll be on there, and before you know it, you are going down a rabbit hole, and you are like taking these stupid quizzes for why, and so try to focus on being intentional. Posts that ask a question and ask for a response are good for interaction. You see the pictures that say this or that, or what's your fave, and it's a multiple choice, A, B, C, or D. When they respond, make sure that you comment back, and then that gets the interaction going. And don't just say, oh, I like that too. Just say, oh, Mary, that's a great selection. What do you like about that piece? Because you want to get a conversation going. If you can get a conversation going back and forth, it increases the algorithms on Facebook and allows your post to be shown and seen more. Okay, and that's the goal. All right. You can post trends, jewelry combos, of course. My favorite resource for finding graphics is the Premier Design Sharing Ideas with Jan. If you're not a member of that group, you need to join her because she is my go-to. She has got volumes of albums of just anything under the sun for fundraisers, for Valentine's Day, for you name it. So it's a really good resource. And when I find images, then I personalize them, and I like to use WordSwag. So WordSwag, you will take a picture. I know the words are backwards on here, but you'll take a picture and then you actually put the wording over the picture. It's a really good app, and it's pretty easy to do. So I like to use WordSwag a lot, or PicCollage. You want to be careful when you use other people's stuff because some stuff might be copyrighted. Even stuff that you see on some of the senior leader pages, some of it is copyrighted material and you are not allowed to use it. So be very careful about that. And also graphics from other jewelers. If they have their website and their name on it, you cannot remove that unless you have their permission. So you can send them a private message and say, hey, I love that graphic that you posted. Do you mind if I remove that? And if they say, no, you can't remove it, that's okay. You can still post it. It's just it's going to have their information on it, or make your own. Use that as an inspiration and then make your own is the best way to do it. But most people are okay with you using their stuff, but just be careful about that. And you always, always, always want to interact with people that post in the event. Let's see, what else? Okay. What about verbiage? Verbiage is another thing where you cannot copy and paste verbatim somebody's post. I really hate it when I see on people's no identifier on graphic. How do you tell if it's copyrighted? Do we need to contact all people whose site we find it? I would just, sometimes you can tell if it has a watermark on it. Or what I'm thinking of is articles that are actually copyrighted and they're posting pictures. That is a no-no. I've seen that on some of the sites. So it's mostly that type of thing. Graphics, you're not supposed to use Google. I don't know, it said something about Google Graphics. But, so you know what, if you use the graphics that Jan's really good about checking for that, or if you use the ones off of the Premier website, you're fine, okay? Okay, where was I? Okay, so as far as verbiage goes, again, you don't want to copy and paste. I hate to see when the promotion comes out and there's hundreds of jewelers that'll put the exact same verbiage and the exact same pictures. No, don't do that, okay? So you need to change the verbiage up. Facebook views that, yeah, you're good then. I'm sure you are. Facebook views copy and pasted stuff as spam. And so as long as if you copy and paste it, just change it. Change some of the sentences in there so that it doesn't sound exactly the same and you're fine, okay? Just to avoid any issues. So I've never been in Facebook jail. We're going to talk about that. And the reason is because I follow the rules. So if you follow these rules, you'll be fine. And you'll be fine, Karen. But just be careful about using other people's stuff. Okay, so what is Facebook jail? Sometimes if you've been posting a lot of too much stuff, or if you haven't been following the rules, okay, Facebook will actually block you from posting and from commenting for a period of a few days to up to a couple weeks. It's never happened to me. And these are the things to avoid Facebook jail. Number one, take a break between posts. So you want to leave time in between your posts. You don't want to post, okay? I don't think you're going to really have to worry about that. But anyway, be careful tagging. Facebook doesn't like you to tag a ton of people. So like if you're tagging like 30 people in a post, don't do that, okay? You can tag a couple people, say, hey, here's the video I was referring to or whatever. That's not going to get you in trouble. It's just when you do a bunch. Never, ever, ever add anybody to a group without their permission. Facebook has really cracked down on this. If you've heard lately that Facebook is removing people from groups, what's happening is people have invited them to a group. They never accepted it, and so Facebook's going to remove them. Well, they probably were added without their permission. Okay, so adding people to a group is a no-no without their permission. Images need to be from a good source. We already talked about that. Don't use your personal account for as your business account. I see people doing this with other companies. They put a lot of stuff for their company right on their Facebook feed. I don't know, but you still have that 80-20 rule, 80% non-business, 20% business. So you can post occasionally on your Facebook, your main timeline, as long as it's 20% of your posts. And let's see. Only friend request people that you have built a relationship with. So don't just randomly go out there and say, oh, let's see, I like the way she looks, I'm going to Facebook request her. Just, you want to have a relationship with people. So that's another thing that Facebook looks down on. And don't accept friend requests from people you don't have any association with, like men. Hello, does anybody else show me a thumbs up if you get, every single day almost, I get friend requests from men, like in Afghanistan or wherever they are. Don't ever accept those. Okay, so anyway. All right, the basics of, yeah, you get them too. I hear ya. And if you remove them on your laptop, you can actually block them so that they'll never be able to do it again. You can't do it on your phone. All right, so who here is comfortable with doing live shows? Give me a thumbs up or a heart. Honestly, when they first announced that we could do Facebook shows, I was not liking it. I thought, oh, I am old school. And I was like, I'm just probably not going to do that. But then as I told my friends about it, who live all over the country, they're like, well, yeah, I want to do a Facebook show. I want to get some free jewelry. So I just dove right in. I mean, I started doing Facebook shows I think January might have been my first one when they announced it, because one of my friends wanted that 50%. So I just dove in. But, just think about it. It's just like doing your show in front of a mirror. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. By the way, if you don't want to, hey Nancy, how are you? If you don't want to see the comments, if you swipe right, those comments will go away. I'm going to leave them up there in case anybody has any questions. But anyway, because see that it covers all my wrinkles. That's kind of a good thing. Anyway, the good thing about doing Facebook shows is if they can't be there in person, they can watch the replay. When I do a sale in my VIP group, I might have 150 people that will watch that video. That's a whole lot more exposure than I would get if I had a sale in my home. So it's a really good thing. Bookings can be a challenge, though, with Facebook. You have to really be intentional and try to private message people. Anybody who's interacting, who's liking your posts or making comments, send them a private message. Don't put it in the comments. Just send them a private message and say, hey, I see you really love this jewelry. What do you think? We should do this for you. So you do need to be intentional when it comes to that. All right. You can also ask the hostess who she thinks might book. So this is what you need. First of all, you need a smartphone or an iPad and a tripod. You can use a stack of books if you can get it high enough. The key with Facebook is you want to get the camera needs to be at eye level or a little bit above. You don't want it way up here looking down, but you also don't want it low. Let me see if I can show you what I mean. If your camera is low, hold on, scoot back here. If your camera is low, you see how it shows my wrinkles. Oh my goodness. You're always you're looking down like this. Your eyes are half closed. It shows all your wrinkles. And it's just not very attractive. So when you put your camera higher at eye level, Your wrinkles go away. You just look better. Your circles go away. Yeah, I like it. So it's just better. You don't want to be looking up somebody's nostrils, okay? And I have seen, somebody's giving me a happy face. Yes, I have seen some Facebook Lives that have been pretty sad. So be careful about that. Tripods are not expensive. You can get them on Amazon for about $15 or $20. It's a good investment. You can't, and you also cannot film horizontally, okay? You need to have your camera this way. If you turn your camera on the replay, it's going to be sideways. Have you seen things posted on Facebook and the videos are sideways? Well, that's what happened. Also, if you start a video like this and you turn your camera, if just a regular, if you're filming out your dogs outside or whatever, if you turn the camera, it'll then go sideways. So just so you know. And right now you can't use a laptop. I think that technology might be coming, but who knows. Okay, lighting. So you need your smartphone, and then lighting is very important. Natural light is the best. If you don't have, during the daytime, just open up all the blinds and you let as much light in as you can. If you don't have, you can use lamps. You can use a halo light. I actually have 2 umbrella lights that I purchased because I do a fair number of lives. And I just like having a studio set up in my office where I can come down here anytime, just flick on my lights, set my phone on my tripod, and I'm ready to do a little live. That's just me, but you don't have to have that. But lighting is super, super important. Oops. Flipped over. Okay. Okay, the next thing you want to do is you want to create a private Facebook event and use it for a testing group. So I have a test page. You can use it over and over again. You just don't invite anybody. It's totally private. But you can go in there and you can practice, and then you can watch yourself, and then you can go, ooh, I got to do something different because that lighting was really bad or whatever. And you just want to practice. And you don't need a mic unless you're really soft-spoken. You can buy those little lavalier mics for like $13 if you want to, but I've never needed a mic because I'm plenty loud. But, and you don't want to film in the bathroom. Even though the lighting is good in the bathroom, you're going to have echoing. So it's really better to not do that. Okay. The next thing you're going to do, number 4, is you want to create an event on your Premiere website. Now, y'all know how to do that. We have to do that with every show that we schedule. We create the event, and then you know that you can copy that little link, and then you can send that to your hostess so that she can send it out to anybody who can't come to the show can use that link to place their order. And you can actually put that link in your Facebook event. I don't usually do it right away. I usually wait and do it, maybe a couple days before the show, especially if people are asking, hey, where can I order? Then I'll go ahead and post it there. And when I post it, I make the post, but then I post the link in the comments, and that way it opens up that, because I usually put a picture with it too. Okay, and then this is really important. When you go to do your live, you want to either set your phone to do not disturb or put it on airplane mode. And I'm actually thinking I didn't do that tonight. I hope nobody calls. Because if you don't do that, texts will come in, phone calls will come in, it never fails. If I don't set it, then that happens. But you can set it to airplane mode and just leave it on Wi-Fi, and it works great. Or you can do the do not disturb. I found that when I do it on do not disturb, I still have texts coming in. So the other thing is, if you're having trouble with your connection, make sure all of your apps are closed. Usually on the phone, you're not going to have them open, but you know how to go through and close out all you double click and then you just flick them, and that cleans everything out. And on a laptop, you would want to make sure everything was closed if people are watching on a laptop. Usually the playback is better on a phone than it is on a laptop. I don't know why. Okay. So next, we're going to talk about showtime. So when it's time for your show, you're going to go to the event, and you're going to, there's a little place down there that says live video, and you're going to click on that. And when you first come on, you're not going to see anybody on there because there is a delay, usually about a 5-second delay. And you're going to just wait and smile. You know, you don't want to sit there going, because they're going to see that. It's going to be at the beginning of your video. So just smile and make a little small talk. Say, hey, everybody, we're just going to wait a couple minutes for somebody to come on. And as soon as somebody comes on, then I go ahead and get started. You don't want to wait too long. And you don't want to have 15 minutes of unnecessary chit-chat, which is why I deleted that other one, because we kind of got a late start. Okay, so the first thing you're going to do is this is super, super important. You have got to create a text invite for your hostess to send to all of her friends first. Do not create that Facebook event until she sends. This is the one that I use. And I'm going to send this to Julie as well. You can use it kind of as a sample. But I create mine on Canva. I like Canva. It's pretty easy to do. And since Red Stamp is no longer, this is what I use. This is my current. It's just really giant. But I text this to my hostess, and she texts it out to all of her friends. So that's important. She needs to invite 20 to 40. Not everybody on her Facebook page that she's friends with. I say no more than 50. But, you know, usually she'll invite 20 or 30, you know? Okay. Then you're going to set up the private event, Facebook event, not a group. I don't recommend group pages because, to be honest with you, I probably have about 50 or 60 or maybe 100 group pages that people have invited me to, and it's hard to find. I just prefer an event. An event is going to be private, and if you are doing a mystery hostess event for your VIPs, there actually is a place on your VIP page that you can create an event within your VIP page. So I don't know if you knew that. I just learned that recently. But if it's going to be a show, you're going to create it in the event page. You want to put your hostess as the co-host so that she can go in and invite all of her friends. And first they've received their personal text. Then she's going to go in and add them. Okay? And she needs to check up on that because she, you know, a lot of times she'll invite people and they will not even open it. Because a lot of people don't go on Facebook on a regular basis. So she needs to keep an eye on that. And just, you know, send texts to people or, you know, check up on people and say, hey, you haven't accepted my invite yet. Because until they accept the invite, they can't see anything that I post, okay? Or you post. Now, they can see what she posts, but not what I post, all right? So it's important for them to accept that. I also set up a Facebook event for my in-person shows as well. I've been doing this probably for a couple years now, and I really think it helps to increase the interaction. The people are excited to come because you can show them stuff on the Facebook event. And I highly recommend you do that even with your in-person shows. It generates interest, and you can even go live on there if you want to. You can also go live at the end of your shows if you want, for anybody who couldn't come. Now, I wouldn't recommend you doing your entire show live at a home show because we want people to come. We want them to see the jewelry. It's way better. But you can go live for the last few minutes just to post in the event, and that way the people that couldn't come will be able to see that. You can add a short welcome video on your Facebook event before anybody even accepts it. Or you can put your virtual business card. In this event, I actually posted my virtual business card that I made. I posted that when I said we were going live at 7:25 instead of 7:15. So that's what I usually post, and then just put a little personal bio. Very short. You don't want to tell them everything, but you can introduce yourself in a video if you want to. And I've got some verbiage here, and you're going to be getting this too. So I've got some verbiage here if you want to go that route. Setting the time for the Facebook show. You know, ask your hostess what's going to work best for her. Most moms are going to want to make sure the kids are in bed. So a lot of times we do them at 8:30 or 9 o'clock, sometimes even 9:30. I think most of the time I do them at 9 if the kids need to be in bed. The other thing you need to think about is why not host two Facebook shows in one night? You could do one at 7 and one at 9. Or if it's a weekend, you could do one in the morning and one later on in the day. You're already dressed for a show, and you've already got your jewelry pulled. So why not do 2 Facebook shows in one day? Does anybody like that idea? It's a great idea. It's good time management, don't you think? Okay, hostess coaching is super, super important when it comes to a Facebook show, especially. I'm just going to tell you, a successful Facebook show is dependent on your hostess being your partner. If your hostess doesn't do anything, you may have a show that gets no sales. It happens. It's happened to me. But I've also had a $1,000 show because I had a hostess that was extremely motivated. Okay? So it's really, really important to hostess coach her. Some tips. You want to tell her to be intentional with who she invites. Focus on about that 20, a core of 20. She can invite more than 20, but usually I've never had 20 people on a Facebook Live, although I've had people come back later and watch the replay. That's the nice thing about a Facebook Live show is they can watch the replay if they can't catch it live. Tell her she must interact with your posts. Not just liking them, but she needs to comment on them because her friends are going to see what she writes, okay? So, and when she comments, you're going to go back in and say, oh, I know, I love that piece too. Tell me what you love about it. Because you want to get that conversation going. You don't want to just have it end there, okay? So try to get that interaction going. You can tell her to tag friends if you're showing a piece that you think that they'll like. Say, oh my gosh, Susan would love that. Why don't you tag her? Tell her to do that. Ask your hostess what pieces she wants to see up close during your live. Because when you're doing a live presentation, you're going to take that jewelry and you're going to say, oh my gosh, you guys, this trendy bracelet is beautiful. And you're going to put it really close to the camera, just like that. And you're going to put your hand in front of it. The reason you put your hand in front of it, if you don't, the lights get kind of wonky and the camera doesn't know where to focus. So ask her what she wants to see. And, you know, if you see somebody that's posting a lot, you can just send them a personal message and say, hey, I see you're really liking the jewelry. What pieces would you like me to show? Because you want to show them what they want to see. Also, you can tell the hostess to make her own posts in the event and to remind people that they need to RSVP going or they're not going to see anything. If they don't respond to the invitation, they won't see any of the posts. Okay? So even if they're a maybe, they should RSVP going or maybe. And then it is really important for her to send out a reminder text the day before her show. She can even, send out a text an hour before the show and say, hey, don't forget, I'll see you at 9 o'clock. Get those kids to bed. Okay, so all Facebook events should be open, Facebook shows should be open about a week. You don't want to keep them open forever, okay? I have got a schedule of the types of posts. I'm not going to go through this because you guys can read this when you get this. But it's got a schedule of different days, what types of posts that you can do, some suggestions, and just kind of as a guideline. So you guys can read that when you get this. All right. Booking activity. Just know that it's not always easy to get bookings when you do a Facebook show. And sometimes you don't get sales because when people come to a show, they've come to buy jewelry. But when they're doing Facebook, they might be doing other things, okay? Hey, I see some love. So make sure that you talk about bookings. You talk about how much jewelry they can get for free and half price. Truly, you guys, we have the best hostess plan with 30% and up to 8 half off items is the best. I hosted a couple shows for a couple other companies. All I got was 10% and a couple half offs. So truly, you guys, we do have the best hostess plan on the planet, and you need to believe it and just be excited about it. But tell them, you know, what your booking incentive is. I give, this is something that I do. I'm not suggesting that you should do this, but this is just something I do. But I offer the GEM membership for $20 if they schedule a show, because it's worth it to me to pay $19.50 for them to have a show. But that's just what I do. You could offer them a piece of jewelry, a piece of retired jewelry, whatever you want, but just sell the sizzle, just like you do at a show. You can't really play games, but you also want to mention sponsoring as well, because you know what? You never know who might have a need. And you know what? It might not even be a financial need. You know what? I do Premier just to give me a reason to get out of bed in the morning, you guys. I took care of 3 elderly parents for years, and when my mom passed away, I'm like, what am I going to do now? I kind of lost my purpose, you know. And so some of us do Premier just for the friendships. We do it for fun, for trips. I mean, you know, I love taking girl trips. So you never know who might be looking for a little side hustle, who couldn't use some extra money. And I just mentioned to them that, hey, you guys, Premier is more affordable now than it has ever been. You can actually start your own business for as little as $45 a month, and that includes your website. It's awesome. When you make 50%, I mean, seriously, you sell $100 every month, and you've paid for your monthly fee. It's awesome. So make sure you mention that as well. And also mention the GEM Club, because the GEM Club is it gives you repeat customers. It's a customer appreciation club. You can do special deals for them. I mean, Premier does some specials for them as well. So anyway, okay, I've got a few other tips to go, and then I'll be done here. So the day of the show, I post a reminder in the morning, you know, something like this, a reminder of, don't forget, we're looking forward to seeing you tonight. Then I post another one about an hour before, and then 15 minutes before. And always, when you make a post, always put a picture with it, because a picture is going to get attention, whereas if you just type words, it's not going to hold a lot of water. And just remember that when you do go live, there is going to be that little delay. And if somebody posts a comment, you're not going to get it until after the fact, just a bit, okay? Let's see, what else? You know, just have fun with it. Gosh, I think it's really fun to interact with people when I'm doing a Facebook Live. It's like I'm there in person, and I'm goofy and I'm having fun, and people love it. So I like it too. It's fun, and I didn't have to leave my house. It's very time. What am I trying to say? Can't think of the word. Okay. I talked about that already. Try to keep your presentation on Facebook to 30 to 40 minutes. I know some people that do over an hour. In my opinion, that is way, way, way too long. You are not going to keep people on Facebook for an hour. What's the best way to see and respond to comments during Facebook Live? You know what? You might miss some. I try to glance down there, but you know, when you're showing jewelry and you're, you know, showing this and that and talking and all that, sometimes you'll miss them, but you can always go back through. You need to go back through and make sure you didn't miss any after the fact, but you just have to kind of glance down there. Like I say, they can swipe right to get rid of those, to get rid of the comments, so that they don't have to. Why are you giving me a mad face, Julie Stewart? I assume that was an accident. But they can swipe right if they don't want to see the comments. And if you do that, you'll see that you can see the whole screen that way, because that way they can see the jewelry better. But anyway, remember to keep your camera vertical, not horizontal. I think some of the newer cameras you might be able to go horizontal, but I only have a 6, so maybe the 10, maybe you can go horizontal, but not with mine. So if your screen freezes, don't panic. It usually will come right back. It's just one of those things that, you know, your connection might be weak. You know, in the evening, there's a lot more people on the internet. When you're giving me all these emojis. A lot more people on the internet, and so sometimes it gets busy, but just stay with it. And usually the replay will be just fine, okay? Okay, when you're finished with your video, you're gonna hit the finish button, okay? Now, before you got to remember that you are going to want to post it to the event, but there's a little button on the left-hand side of the screen that says save. If you want to save the video to be able to post it somewhere else, you can save it and it'll save to your camera roll, okay? And then you push the button that you want to post it to the event, all right? Let's see what else. After the event, the hostess needs to message anybody that said they were coming that didn't. So you need her to follow up with these people. Follow up is key, especially with a Facebook show. And she needs to check with them and see, hey, did you want to place an order? Did you get a chance to watch the replay, and so forth. Make sure that you thank the people that placed the order. You can private message them, or you can even, you know, put a post, say, woohoo, we got our first order. You can give an incentive for getting the first orders that come in that night. Like if you place your order by midnight tonight, you'll go in for a drawing for whatever. If you want to do that, you can. I don't play games, and I don't do a lot of, you know, games in my posts. I know some people do. I'm just not a games person, but it's fine if you want to do that. Some people really get into that. It's all about interaction. Okay. Just try to keep it simple. You know, you want, you just want to think about this as doing it at a show. It's not really much different. Have fun with it. And of course, in-person shows are going to reap a better benefit, but this is a great way to build your customer base and, hey, have another option. I also like to post the catalog link in my event, because sometimes it's more fun to look through the lookbook than it is to look through the website. So you know at the bottom you can copy those the links and post. You can just post those in your event as well. Oh, now when I do my Facebook Lives, I like to come on the camera jewelry naked and without my 1, 2, 3, okay? If you're brave and not afraid to come on jewelry naked and without your 1, 2, 3, I think it's really a great visual, because it really shows them how you start with a basic top, you add your fashion piece, and then you add your jewelry, and they're just like, wow. It does make a huge difference. So that's a great thing to do. You can also change the jewelry on you. I use Mandy. Oh, I had one show that my neighbor up the street, she was the hostess, and she came down and we did the show together. Oh my gosh, she was my Mandy, and we laughed so hard. She was changing clothes and putting jewelry on, and we had a blast. So if you can do that, that's really fun. Really fun. Make sure you know that if you are going to show a document, that it's going to show up backwards. There is a way for you to mirror print them, but if you Google it, you'd be able to find how to mirror print something naked. That's right, naked, girl, naked. Naked as Jaybird. And you guys, occasionally it's good to do a Facebook Live on your regular Facebook page, because like I say, not everybody is in your VIP group. So you might want to do a top 10 styles for spring or something. And, you know, people are watching you. And, you know, if you're at a pool and saying, oh, this is my work day, you know, people are noticing that. And that could be a little thing that somebody says, how do you get to go on all these trips? Well, because I write my own schedule, you know, so it could be a lead to share the business with them. All right. Whew. That was a lot. I hope I didn't overwhelm you, and I hope that you got something out of that. Please call me if you have any questions. I am more than happy to help you over the phone. My phone number is in that card, that virtual card that I posted. You know, let's face it, you guys, people are busy. And a lot of our customers are on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're doing Twitter. I'm not doing Twitter, I'm sorry. I'm on Instagram, I'm still learning. It's another thing. I finally feel like I've fairly mastered Facebook. But it's just a fun way to engage with people and to build relationships. Focus on serving, having fun, being informative, inject your personality, and keep it personal. You know, the new flexibility that we've been given by Premier is awesome. It really is. It's an extra opportunity to be able to serve women that you would never have been able to serve across the miles. So just embrace it. Do it afraid. Just do it. And I promise you that the more you do it, the easier it's going to get. All right? And remember, it's all about serving and it's all about relationships. And I love y'all. Does anybody have any questions that I can answer right here and there? I know that Karen asked a couple as we were going. Great training. Thanks so much. Love your heart to serve us. Aw. I do have a heart to serve, and I love sharing. And, you know, I'm happy to help anybody. If you want to call me, you are a rock star. Yeah, I wish. Thank you for helping us. I hope you guys got something out of it. But anyway, I wish I was there with you. But I'm going to sign off now, and I'm going to post this in the event so some other people can watch it. So anyway, you sound like a Facebook expert. Well, I don't know about that, but I've learned a lot. All right. So thanks, you guys. I love ya. Good night. Stay warm. Bye.